This is Talk with Brian, where leaders speak, ideas spark, and stories hit different. From current affairs to business and culture, nothing's off the table. Raw, relevant, unfiltered. Don't just listen, be part of the conversation. Talk with Brian, streaming now.
So, let's get to the core point. What really inspired you to contest for this position?
Okay, that's a very nice question. So, I've seen the need for certain things to be done. Having grown up from here, and having had the chance to go around, stay in different places just within our country, I've seen some of the things that others have been able to do, and I kept asking myself, say, why not Kazungula? Why don't we see these things in Kazungula? And
akaende kunzeta
kubatikila fera mambo kwa rasi kwa chinda fera kwa mane fera ko na kwa ndio le kwa moja atake kusika
atutonte ivana basimbi kuti bayiye pambo ivana basimbi bayiye bereshi chisikwende kwana bata ezomai dazo sala mazete mu market pesa waise mwana musisi bara baita basi mango kuri bantu banzimani mwana musisi
ingi mumyambwe mujatisiyankanya kwa
kashi fowe kinangunzi bakwetwe ku masivo 70 kuti tabelede.
Welcome to Kaz Media Talk with Brian podcast. Here where we bring your leaders to here, we ask questions that directly come from the community. And I'm here with me with an aspiring candidate for the Kazungula Central Ward in the forthcoming general election. Sir, good morning.
morning, Mr. Brian. How are you?
Very well. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks so much for inviting me here.
Sure.
Yes.
So, actually, if maybe among political figures, you'll be the first one. So, let's get into knowing who you are.
Okay. So, thanks very much again for inviting me and being the first one actually to appear on this podcast. So, my name is Alex Muketoi Ricardo, born and bred in Kazungula. Yes, so I was born here in Foes. I stayed in Foes. I did my primary school at Riverview Basic School. Thereafter, I did my secondary school from Linda, that's from grade 9 to grade 12. Thereafter, I went to the University of Zambia where I started business administration. I've worked in the private sector, both as a fuel attendant as well as a sales assistant. Currently, I'm working as a sales and marketing manager for an Omama enterprise, as well as the Boost House. But I'm also a freelance. I'm also a business person. I have my own company called Maxi Express Services, where I do a lot of printing and branding services. So basically, that's who Alex Muketoi is.
Okay, so let's get to the ball at hand. We have elections coming in August, and August is just like a few months to go. How do you think is the wind on the ground, if I may ask?
Okay, so let me be frank with you. Our president, I think, has done extremely well.
Okay.
I think he's put all the necessary policies for development in all parts of Zambia, not just a particular part, but everywhere. But then when you see and you ask yourself, say, is that development really on the ground? And if we ask who's feeding the system, the so-called system, we say, my honest answer is it's us, the community. Why I say the community is it's actually us who vote, starting from the councillor, the MP, the chairperson, up to the president. And sometimes we don't do due diligence to see who the person we are putting are they capable? Because sometimes people will look at say, okay, it's campaign time. This one will be able to provide this during campaigns, and we forget to say once the campaigns are done, there's a long period. That's 5 years. So if you choose someone who's not going to represent the community, you have to wait another 5 years. So there's wind of change, especially for local leaders. People want someone who'll be able to represent them.
Okay. So when you say there's a wind of change for the local leaders, what really are you telling the people? Just put it straight to say, do you think you are the best candidate if this wind of change happens? Do you think you are the best candidate to replace some of the leaders?
I'm very sure I'm the right person to represent Kazungula Central. Being born and bred here, I think starting from Mambova, Kaunzwe, here in Kazungula, Mailand, Kombo, everywhere. I think I have not people that I know, but my family is scattered around all this place. So I'm not here just because I was born here. It's because I understand I was born here, yes, that's one thing. But people from Mambova, people from Kaunzwe, people from Mailand, they've been complaining, saying, no, every time we elect leaders, some of them who are not from here, some of them are from here, but they don't really represent us. And given that the government gave us 40 million the last 5 years, I mean, it started with 35 million, but it went on to 40 million. Yeah. We haven't really seen change in Kazungula. If we look at the roads right now, they are very bad. It's not something that it's not an assumption. Even if you go today and take pictures around, the road is bad. The road being bad makes the cost of business to go high. Because my aunt who's in Makarangoz, who's selling at the market, would need to order things from the border. They will have to pay more than someone who's going to Livingston will pay just to transport a few things less than 5 kilometers from the border.
Okay. So let's say you were given that opportunity as a councillor to lead Kazungula Central in the next 5 years. What are some of the things that you would want to change, or what are some of the things that you would put in place to make sure that there's tangible development in the area?
Okay, so I have a number of things I would want implemented, and I'm not saying this because I'm able to do it on my own. The government has given authority to the council, and I know people are always complaining, say, no, the council this or the council this, but I'm someone who understands process, institution. There is a process on how things are supposed to be done. I feel the past leaders have failed because
the current leaders,
the current leaders and past actually, and past have failed because maybe they don't understand process. It's one thing to come and say, we'll do roads, but then how are you going to do it? Do you understand the process of the council? And for me, that's why I really want to work with the council, understand their processes, and see how we can bring meaningful development.
How many years would it take you to understand the process and how the council works?
So if I'm elected as councillor, I have 5 years.
5 years. 5 years of understanding how the council works and not implement anything.
I have 5 years. Meaning, we're going to sit down with the council when I'm elected, give them the things I'm going to share here. These are things that the people want. Because these are some of the things that I've talked to people. These are some of the things that me personally, I've seen say, they need to be done. We are going to draw up with a plan with the council. Say, okay, this is what Kazungula Central Ward wants. You know the processes. How do we achieve this? What are some of the things that are going to hinder you for us to achieve this? And how best can we work? The community, me representing the community, and you on behalf of the government, to bring meaningful development. Because the president has given us, back then we used to have to wait for the central government to do things, but the president has decentralized everything. Say, okay, sometimes these services will take time to reach you. So I'm going to give this money to you. As a community, sit down, look at areas where you need change, where you need development, and within you agree with the council. Say, okay, this is what we want to do, and the council will implement it.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't have to wait for 5 years to learn the system and how things work.
So we still get back to the question to say, what really would you want to put up first? What are your priority areas?
Okay, so I'll start with the main issue that we have, which is roads, because this is a very big driver for anything. For me to walk, to drive from here to Mambo, I'll spend about an hour over a very short distance of less than 15 kilometers. So roads will be the priority. And why I'm saying this, it's not that I'm advocating for a tarmac just next year, because I know it's very expensive. But we can do feeder roads, we can do gravel, proper gravel roads for a start. When we do that, we'll not say people will be easy, will find it easy for them to move.
How do you intend to achieve that?
Through the CDF. Right now, our constituents, which had 16 wards, now has 8 wards, which means now we have more money to do things that back then they said they couldn't do it because the money was not enough. Now the money is there. The money is enough. The president even mentioned, say, he's even going to increase it in the coming years. So it means the money will be there. There will be no any other excuse for us not to see development in the next 5 years, because we will be able to do roads, we will be able to do proper drainages, we will be able to pave markets, because the money will be there.
We've talked about roads. Looks like roads are one of the most critical areas that Kazungula Central is faced with as a challenge. Is there any other things that your leadership in the next 5 years will concentrate on? The people would like to know what else your leadership, Mr. Muketoi, is going to offer and bring about in Kazungula Central.
Okay, so Mr. Brand, the reason why I started with roads, because I know when these things are, when the roads are done, a lot of things will be easy. But then there are a lot of things. Right now, I've been looking at how the empowerment funds have been for youths and women and school-going children have been brought to us. And I also have ideas on how I feel we could better that. It's a good initiative. I know a lot of people have benefited. But the only problem I have is someone will go and do engineering or do carpentry and stuff at Libes or anywhere. What do they do when they come back? Nothing. So yes, they have a skill, but what do they do? Nothing. So for me, I feel the idea is okay, but to go further, I have a plan to say, if someone goes to study maybe electrical engineering, when they graduate, when they are done with the course, they need to be empowered with the right tools they need to use. Like that, it becomes very hard, because it's one thing to have a skill, but it's another thing to have capital. So the only capital that someone who has done electrical engineering is buying them the necessary tools they need to use in that area. Then they won't come to ask for employment. They'll be able to start. Coming from school, you have the right tools. Then you go to work. Even better, the time they go in school, those tools, they need to have them. So
in other ways, you are saying a student, every student who has been accepted to do a skills training course should also be provided with the necessary tools to use instead of just the skill.
That's my plan. That's what I'm saying right now.
Don't you think is an extra expense on the CDF?
It's not an extra expense. I would rather have 20 people with skills, with the right tools, who are going to work, than have 100 people go to school and learn and come back in the society. What do they come to do? The same thing they were doing. If they're doing nothing, they will come back in the community, still being dependent on their parents. while they have the skill. Because if you ask them, say, oh, what are you not doing anything? They'll say, oh, I've applied here and there. I'm not been picked. But if someone has the tools, Brian, trust me, they'll start looking for employment. They'll start looking for things to do on their own. They'll go in the field and say, oh, I'm able to do this. So they need to have the tools. It's better we have 100 people empowered and are actually working than have 1,000 people just to have number to say, no, we've empowered 1,000 people. It's better we have 100 that are able to work when they come out from those skill training.
Okay, so Kazungula Central, as most of the economic activities happen at the border, the old border and the new border, and most of the youths are just out there washing trucks. Others may be running errands, working from the restaurants, and also there are others that literally do nothing. They're just there in the shackles. But what is this leadership promising to offer or offering in terms of job creation for the youths who are washing trucks, for the youths who are doing nothing? And others have the skills. As you have said, they did skills training from the time that skills development was initiated. Others have those necessary skills, but they don't have the tools. What is this leadership offering?
So first of all, what I'm going to concentrate on is those people who've now acquired the skill, but they don't have the capital. Through the youth empowerment, these people should and will be empowered with the right tools they need. Because once that is done, we are going to reduce on people who are skilled already and are doing nothing. As we also keep enrolling other people into these skills programs, because now that will be coming now. They not say, once I get this skill, or once I apply and I'm accepted, you get, then they just then these tools will be given to them. So that as they are doing the training, they are working with their own things, their own tools. So as we bring in more people, we have, okay, I'll be frank. Kazungula doesn't have a lot of civil servants, or most of us are into the private sector. We do our own businesses here and there. So skills for those that want to attain skills, but also provide loans to marketeers, to people who have grocery shops, not just marketeers. We have people who have grocery stores who are employing people. And I think this is something that we should do, because it's one thing to call for loans and stuff. We might end up giving money that is not going to benefit people. But just in Kazungula, we have people who are employing a lot of youths just within. I feel those people also need to be empowered more, because they've proven over the years to say they're able to create jobs. And if those people are empowered more, we sit down with the business community, say, oh, we know this person is doing fine. They have 10 workers. Yes, we have a lot of people who have shown to say they are able to do business. They've done it for a couple of years. They've employed youths in our community. They've employed our aunties, our uncles, our mothers. So how about we empower those people? I'll give an example. And please, I know we are here and we haven't been asked to say we should mention them, but this is a very beautiful place we are at. And a lot of people come here to have shoes here and there, and these people have empowered a lot of people. But when some of us come here, we see potential, and then we can even propose to them, say, okay, what if the government helps you in such a way so that you can employ more people? Because this is a beautiful place. It has potential. It could employ maybe 5, 6, or 10 youths into this place. So I want to work with those people who have proven to say they can do business. In as much as I'm trying to get those people who are not doing anything, because it will be easy for me to work with someone with proven, say, okay, I'm doing this and I've been doing this for the last 5 years, for the last 2 years. If you empower me with this, I'm able to bring more youth, and they'll be able to have jobs. I think that is the right way we should be going.
Okay. So in your preamble, you mentioned to say there are some of the challenges that traders from Makalanguzu, traders from the border market are facing in several in their businesses. How will your leadership improve the working conditions of traders?
Okay, first of all, is we need to look at the area they work at, um, starting with the environment, the drainage systems around the market, the toilets, and these are very important issues because diseases can come from that. Yes. So first we are going to take care of them, starting with their workplace. Make sure that the market is well paved. Just behind the border market, we have a plain area where taxis park. That whole area needs to be paved so that people can park their vehicles properly. Have the market well paved. Make sure there's 24/7 running water at the toilets. We have things, even things that we think they are small, like having toilet paper in the toilet. Those are things that should always be there because the local authority gets money for everyone who uses those facilities. They get levy from our marketeers. But when you just go behind the market, you find there's a very big bin with dirt. Those are things that should be done at least every day, or if not, maybe every after 2 or 3 days, so that dirt doesn't power around our market. It's very easy for us to put a drainage from the market down to to our small stream here, because the market and the river are just nearby. So if we put a proper drainage system, we're not going to have dirt in the market or water staying around our market system. Those are things. Then now we have to empower women, and I'll tell you this: the women have come up with a very good initiative, what they call Chirimba and village banking. And I think instead of just giving specific women to say this one gets 1,000, this, I think we should start using those channels in the market. So if people have a committee in the market for village banking, and the local authority says, okay, we're going to give 100,000 to Kazungula border market, then these marketeers will go to that committee that they have around to borrow, and then they start paying back with a little bit of interest, so that 2 years from now, it's not 100,000, it's 150,000. They empower themselves around the market, and it's not just for the marketeers that sell tomatoes there, that sell vegetables, even those who have grocery stores there, because they are part of the committee in the market. I've talked about the women and their empowerment. We have a lot of elderly people, different able people in our community. One of the problems I've seen is it's not all elderly people that have been captured with social fare to receive help, because this help is there, Mr. Brian. I've seen it. My grandfather is a beneficiary, but I still know a lot of other people that are not on these programs, because for our mothers, for our aunties, for our grandparents, I think they've reached a point where some of them cannot work and stuff, and they need this help. You get? So there are already programs that are there, but the cry of a lot of them is most of them are not captured. Most of them are not benefiting. They just hear it from others, say, oh, that one is part. And these are people who've been in our community for the last 50 years. They've stayed here. My grandmother was born here. My grandmother was born here. So these are all people we need to bring together to access these funds, but also to employ the people that are being kept in, to empower maybe the people that are keeping them, because it's these people that will be able to take care of our elderly people. Yes, and one thing concerning the elderly people, I also have a vision with the council. We need to construct a health post at least within 5 kilometers. So this is going to help maternity wards at least within 5 kilometers. Someone doesn't need to walk 10 kilometers for them to access health care. If we have, it doesn't have to be a very big thing. Brian, if you remember, I know because we are also from Kazungula. For a long time, we had a very small clinic in Kazungula. That wasn't a clinic. It was a house that was even turned into a clinic. It only had 2 offices. On the other side and on the other side, with 2 small I would say storerooms.
Mm-hmm.
They had to build something very small behind, and it was very bad. Let me tell you this: my mother was once sick. She was put in the same room with a man because we didn't have the facilities, and the condition didn't even need for her to be transferred to a bigger clinic, which was in Livingston back then. So they had to be in the same room with a man, which is something that doesn't need to happen now.
Mm-hmm.
So we can even create very small health post, which has a maternity ward, a male and female ward, where our people can be taken care of. It's not everything that needs to be taken to our district hospital.
We are still with Mr. Alex Likando Muketoi, an aspiring candidate for the 2026 general election at the councillor position of Kazungula Central Ward. So basically we're just getting to know more about him, his aspirations, and what he wants to do for the ward, and what he intends to change in the ward. Okay, so let's get to it. Mr. Muketoi, you've told us about roads, you've told about skills. So let's get to the core point. What really inspired you to contest for this position?
For a long time, I've been part of those people that have been complaining, saying, no, our leaders, no, our council, no, our government. But then I sat down and asked myself, say, so what does the Constitution say? What role can I play? Am I not qualified to be the voice that I and other people feel should be there for the community? Okay, it's because we've seen, say, our current councillor hasn't addressed these issues, and I know these are the issues that even if you invited anyone, these are the same things they'll come to talk about, because it means me and everyone in the community know the problems that we have, and the president has given us an alternative. Say, okay, since you know these problems and it takes time for these issues to reach my desk, let me do this. And moreover, Brian, it's not just CDF. You said you either said Kazungula is like the cosmopolitan. It's a town. It's where all the district officers sit. So this should be the center of development. There's no way you can take development very far if you can't start from within. Because everyone who comes to Kazungula, they'll first come here. This is where we have all the offices. This is where the money is being made. The border is one of the places that generates a lot of revenue for the government, for ZAMBIA, which goes in the national coffers. But I'll tell you, say, it's only a small fraction of people within Kazungula that benefits from that.
How do you mean?
People will come here and okay, if you go in the border right now, it's only a few agents, a few runners that work in there, and a few people that are employed. A layman cannot enter the border today because there are a lot of restrictions. I understand we need to have order, but we need to find a way that then an ordinary person from Mambova, from Skaunzi, will say, I'm part of Kazungula. What can I do in Kazungula? Okay? I'm not trying to advocate for lawlessness, but I want us to find a way we can have our people in Kazungula benefit from the border. Already, right now, there was a notice to say trucks that come, that are supposed to cross to Botswana are not supposed to stop in Kazungula. They're supposed to go direct to Botswana. And we have brothers and sisters who depend on washing clothes for truck drivers to earn a living, because we don't really have a big industry apart from the trucks that come here and a few other business, and also the people who are by the market, and we don't really have something we'll point at.
Don't you think this issue of trucks not parking, going straight, has been addressed as one of those ways to speed up economical activities in the country.
I do understand that, but then you need to understand, say, macroeconomics and micro are different, and we need to find a balance between the two.
Okay.
Find something to do.
Okay.
Even just at the exit gate in Chirundi, you find people selling drinks, selling talk time, selling what, because it's very far from someone to come out and go to the border to because it becomes expensive again. So we need to find a balance, Brian. We need to find a balance and a way that the local people will be able to benefit. Even just we won't allow them to put maybe big structures.
Okay, Honorable, in the interest of time, as we come to the conclusion of this discussion, number one is you are contesting in the Kazungula Central Ward election as a councillor.
Right.
So I'm sure people want to know which party party ticket you are standing on. So you can help us with.
You can see there's a red bottle here, a red lid bottle.
Now, what does that mean?
It must mean something. So first of all, my interest is not which party ticket I'm going at, because I feel this is the reason why we haven't had development. People will go and find a party that they will think it's popular, and if they have a few people to buy the people in the ward committees, in the constituent committees for adoption, then they are assured of winning. My focus right now is representing the people of Kazungula. This has been a great opportunity for me. To the listeners and the viewers, I have a lot of things to say, and we shall engage with you as I come in different communities to talk to you. We have a lot of things that I wish I would have shared, but because of time, we couldn't. But I'm sure from the few things I've outlined.
Are you saying fingered you on time?
No, I really appreciate the time, but I still feel there are a lot of things to be discussed. And I know we can't.
All right, so I hope you've had it, you enjoyed the discussion, and this is where we say bye until next time. First of all, I just want to take this opportunity to appreciate and thank the proprietor of Chigayo Waterfront, Mr. Pumulo Mulele, for allowing us to have this podcast right here. And others, in case you want to visit Chigayo, I have a clip on Kaz Media. You can just go there, stream, and look at it. They also have facilities such as boat cruising, and they also have a bar. Yeah, so you can come here, chill, chat, do what, and so forth. There's a very, very serene place actually, very cold when it's hot. You know how Kazungula weathers sometimes tend to be, but Chigayo provides an environment where you and your partner have that a place where there are shades. You can show around, show them. So you see, these are the trees that we're talking about, and we have a bar on the other side there, traditionally made. We have a waterfront where you can just watch the Zambezi River, as well as the bridge is right just behind our photographer and videographer. But you can show them the bridge. Where is it? And try to just zoom it. People can see. So that's the mighty Kazungura Bridge. Right here, it offers you that beautiful view, and also not forgetting in the evening we have the beautiful sunset view right here. So don't hesitate to come through to Chigayo.